Kia ora everyone, this presentation gives you an insight into the New Zealand prefabrication industry. New Zealand is currently undergoing a housing shortage and we require at least 40,000 new homes to cater for the growing population. The construction industry is struggling to meet the demand that the traditional building methods aren't able to fill. Therefore, effective and efficient alternative construction methods such as prefabrication are needed, but the uptake of prefabrication in New Zealand has been significantly slow, and there is also uneven distribution across the country. Example, 70% of prefabrication manufacturers are located only in the North Island. Literature identifies that legislation and government policies are one of the main reasons why prefabrication hasn't become mainstream. In New Zealand, going through the design approvals and going through the building consent process for prefabricated buildings is a very lengthy process. And different territorial authorities have different requirements for prefabricating housing. Example, the requirements in Auckland could be different to the requirements in Christchurch. The multi-proof initiative that was launched by the New Zealand government in 2010 was a means of trying to fast-track the building consent process for standard multiple-use building designs. Another reason why prefabrication hasn't become mainstream is because of perceptions that exist around it. Prefabricated designs are usually seen as being very bland, inflexible, and it doesn't give clients the ability to tailor-make something based on their design preferences. Therefore, if there was a greater flexibility of designs, there may have been greater enthusiasm towards prefabrication. However, keeping the design inflexibility aside, there is great potential in prefabrication, and literature is showing time and time again that there are various advantages to prefabrication. In addition to increasing construction efficiency and performance, it also results in cost reduction and results in subsequent reduction in environmental impacts. And to make matters a little bit more complicated, New Zealand has a very small consumer market, and you do not have a lot of companies that can offer you the state-of-art desirable prefabricated homes. As a result, the cost of materials are also very high, and companies do not really make a big profit around it. Because of the slow uptake, there needs to be greater research and development within the prefabrication industry to find out how we can propel this industry further. Because prefabrication has such a slow uptake in New Zealand, it was important to find out what the current status of the industry is. This research aimed to find out what the realities of prefabricated construction methods currently are and to get a deeper insight around them, to analyze the government initiatives and regulatory framework to facilitate prefabrication, and to discuss the benefits of prefabrication and client preferences. A survey approach was used in this research, and questionnaires and face-to-face semi-structured interviews were used for data collection. There were 14 industry professionals that participated who came from 7 New Zealand-based prefabrication companies. The participants in this research came from various occupations. There were 3 architects or designers, 3 project managers, 3 quantity surveyors, and 5 sales or marketing professionals with varying number of years of experience within the prefabrication industry. 9 were relatively new in the prefabrication industry with 1 to 3 years of experience. That means that the prefab industry is relatively new and therefore they hadn't spent so much time within the industry. 2 of the participants had been in the industry for about 5 to 10 years. There were various types of projects that the participants were involved in, but mainly most of them worked in residential projects. The average value started from 100,000 and went all the way to 10 million. Auckland was the most popular place for having prefabrication projects, and the North Island had more prefabricated presence than the South Island. The participants were given a range of statements to rate on a scale of 1, meaning strongly disagree, to 5, meaning strongly agree. It is clear that there was strong agreement within the industry that prefabricated methods reduce construction waste, improve construction time, and reduce cost compared to conventional building methods. The participants also believe that quality and design have a strong influence on purchases when choosing prefabricated homes. When it came to addressing accessibility to architectural design through prefabrication, a strong proportion of replies came back neutral, which means that the design is not basically a very strong component of prefabrication. The participants in the interviews were asked to identify some drivers of prefabrication. Most of the participants felt that the current legislation in New Zealand is the biggest hindrance for the slow uptake of prefabrication, and they felt that the government should do more to support the prefab industry. They also felt that the lack of customer knowledge and confidence in prefabrication is one of the common reasons for the slow uptake. They felt that there needs to be more positive marketing and education around the technology, and for that you need greater investment, training, and research and development so that we are able to identify the factors that can enhance the industry further. Some of the participants also felt that overseas skilled labor is needed in the industry to propel the industry further and overcome the labor shortage that is currently existent in New Zealand. The participants gave an insight on the current state of the prefab industry, and most of the participants felt that we need to target offshore markets if we wanted to improve the market size. So the New Zealand industry is currently very underdeveloped, and offshore markets were already more advanced than New Zealand, and they probably saw New Zealand as their potential market. There was also very limited pre-finished products that were available in the market, and penalized systems seem to be undergoing development within the industry. Therefore, to upscale prefabrication manufacturing, we needed larger factories, and that could improve the industry. It could improve the speed and delivery of prefabricated projects. And if there was more design freedom and flair, then that will be very advantageous for prefabrication. A number of benefits of prefabrication was evident from the interviews, such as reduced cost and project time, reduction in waste. Building in a controlled environment meant less disruptions, mainly from weather conditions, and of course there was general reduction in other on-site disruptions. It is evident that there are a number of factors that influence a client's decision on whether they wanted to go with prefabrication methods or conventional methods. The main role was design, and it is evident that design plays a very important role for clients, and clients are willing to make sacrifices around design if they could see time and cost saving benefits. All participants felt that time and cost were the most influential factors which led to people choosing prefabricated homes. There were a few participants that interestingly stated that prefabricated homes were not as economical as perceived. In conclusion, it is evident from this research that prefabrication has great potential in the New Zealand construction market. There are various benefits of prefabrication such as reduction in time, cost and waste, and also creation of greater quality materials and faster build time due to controlled environments. For the benefit of the industry and for the greater expansion of the industry, there is a need for better government legislation and robust council processes, and with greater marketing and promotion of prefabrication materials and products, prefabricated homes can become a market leader in providing affordable housing in New Zealand. It is recommended that central and local government, as well as the residential construction industry, invest in the research and development of prefabricated methods of construction.